another video. And to finish the Glow Up series, I will talk about spirit. Yes, it's the last part that I um led here for me to talk about. I already talked about body and mind. And to finish this series, I'll talk about spirit. And I would like to explain a bit why I divided this series on these three parts is because some years ago I watched a video of a YouTuber I like so much, and she talks about it that for us to be with a good mental health, we had to, it's like we have three bowls of water, and these three bowls they have to have the same level of water, so I think it was so interesting that I decided to make this video inspired on that video, because for me it was really important when she talked about it. So she said that um no matter if you have a good body, if your mind isn't healthy, no matter if you have a good mind, if your spirit isn't healthy. So that's why I decided to divide this video on these parts. And this is the last one. And let's talk about the spirit. And when it comes to spirit, I also divided this subsection on three parts. And the first one is free time. It may be random, but I think it's really important for you to dedicate a time to take care of your spirit every single day. And that's why I called it the free time. And okay, one of the main things you need to have peace of mind is to understand that you need to rest, is to understand that you have to take a time for uh how can I say that to power your energy again. So you have to understand that no matter how productive you are, it's not worth it if you're always tired. So you need to rest. So you need one light day every week. You need to take a time off at least once a week um, to recharge your batteries. That's what I wanted to say earlier. Clear your mind and de-stress. We are humans, we are not machines. Working and studying are important, so it's important for you to be productive. But you can also know that there's a time to work, there's a time to produce, and there's also a time to recharge. And our lives cannot be limited to working and studying. You have to have a free time to rest, to do the things we like, to engage on things we enjoy doing, we enjoy watching. So you deserve this free time. And it's very important that during this time you do things you enjoy, as I said previously. Eat a tasty food, talk to nice people. So that's why I will talk about it later. But the people you have around you will define your peace of spirit as well. Rest your body, rest your mind. So for the sake of your mental health, which I talked about yesterday, no, on Wednesday, allow yourself to stop. So you have to understand that we had to balance our production. We have to understand that even the machines, there's that 1 hour of the day that they are powered off. And we are not machines. We need to rest. You know, I know that there are some days that we'll do a lot of things. Me, for example, yesterday I only stopped working and studying. It was 11:30 p.m. I forgot how to say the hour in English, but okay, you understood. So it was so late at night. It was almost midnight when I stopped because I didn't see the time passing. I was so engaged on what I was doing. I had to finish as soon as possible. I would not stop till I finish it. Then I didn't see the time passing. So it's important for us to rest We need to rest. We need to take a time of a week where you do anything. You cannot have any kind of things that will, like take so much of your energy. So if you're gonna rest, sleep till late, allow yourself to sleep a bit more, you know don't do things that require a lot of energy. If possible, buy something for eat, for you don't waste energy on cooking. But it's important for you to take a day, at least a day a week, where you just rest, where you do nothing, you know so take a free time at least once a week. For me, it's important for you to have 2 days a week, but in some societies it's still debated. But I think at least twice a week you have to rest. You have to have 2 day offs for you to completely recharge, to give your best along around the week, the rest of the week, you know. So, and as I said, respect your own time. Understand that there are days that we will produce a lot, there are days that we won't produce a lot, and don't feel guilty. It's something that I'm trying to work on myself, because I used to require a lot of myself. I feel guilty when I don't do everything I put as a goal to do on the day. And I feel so guilty when I couldn't finish all the activities. But I have to understand that there will be days where I'll do a lot of things, there will be days that I won't do so many things, and that's okay. If I couldn't make it today, tomorrow is another day, and I can do a bit more. So respect the time of your body. It's not easy, because own wi- in my own will, I would like to have 100% of productivity every single day, but some days we just can't. Sometimes you're even dealing with some kind of disorder, some kind of illness that doesn't allow you to to do all those things. And you have to respect the time of your body. You have to understand, man, I have to rest. I have to stop, you know? So take a free time, respect your own time, and that's it. A lot of things that I think e- another thing that I think is really important for our spirit is the people we have around us. So, one thing that ruins our mental health is the company of bad people. I will take a sip of my coffee with my Sherlock Holmes mug, and I felt that last year. I noticed that I'm tired of the people I have around me. Not because I don't like them, not because I fight with them, but there are people that are draining my energy. I made a video about it yesterday. People who drains our energy. And that's exactly this. Sometimes it's not even talking about um friends. I'm talking about people we have around us. Sometimes it's a classmate, sometimes it's a um co-worker. And these people, they drain our energy. They are not good company. Usually people who are so frustrated in life, they are always complaining about everything. They are always complaining. This drains our energy. Imagine being with a person who, like, out of 10 words this person says, it's 9 is complaining. It's terrible. It's impossible for you to engage on a conversation with this person, because this person only wants to complain about everything. They want to complain about the job, they want to complain about their health, they want to complain about their family, everyone. But ask me, do they do something to solve these things? To solve the things that made them complain so much? No, because they don't want to solve the problem. They want to be complaining. But imagine being 100% of your day with these people. You get sick. you start to complain as well. It's terrible. It's terrible. And I have to say something that I wrote here. Often they're not bad people. They're not mean, but they are people who add nothing to our lives. They only subtract things from our lives. Our happiness, a peace of mind. They are always taking it. It's terrible. It's terrible. And these are the worst people to have around because they are the hardest to cut out. They are the hardest because you think this person is annoying, but they didn't do anything wrong. So, what kind of excuse I had to cut these people out of my life? You don't have. So you have to you kind of feel guilty for willing to cut these people out because you're like, man, but we didn't do anything bad. We didn't fight, but only the fact that this person is in your life, they don't need to do anything. They're just annoying. They're just draining your energy. It's terrible. And honestly, most part of people will have around us, they're like that. One more simple coffee. So it's really annoying. It's really, really, really annoying. And you know, as I said, last year I started to feel that. I started to look around me. For real, most part of the people, they're like that. If they're not complaining about their own lives, they're complaining about the government, they're complaining about the country, they're spreading misinformation, fake news, and they're all complaining, put the fault on put the blame blame on every single failure they have in their lives on the government. It's like, I don't have money. The fault is of the president. But you see, this person doesn't work, don't want to do anything, and they're always trying to put a blame on someone because they want to keep starting complaining and they will never accept that they're on the blame. You know, the president doesn't even know you exist. They only care about you when they're needing votes. If they are not, they don't care about you and you're there. Putting the blame of your failure on president. I know government's a mess. I hate government. I I do as well, but what can I do about it? If the people, the population who decides it, I have to take care of my life because, to be honest, enters on president, gets out on president, my life keeps the same. It doesn't change. My expectations are still low. My life weren't 1 inch better with the previous president, and it's not better right now. It's the same. So the change depends on me. But if you're always complaining, always finding reasons for you to get this ranger, this bad feeling about other people, you're always creating antagonists to your story. You're always creating villains, and you're always fighting against a an invisible villain, an invisible problem. You're paranoid. You should treat yourself because you're annoying. And as I said, these people in general, they're not bad. They're not the people who, like they'll not treat you bad. They'll not do anything bad for you. But these people, they drain your energy. These people doesn't add anything. They're always making you feel bad, always making you feel down, always, like, and somebody is calling me. I hate when it happens, but okay. So they're always doing this kind of things, always complaining, draining your energy. It's terrible. It's terrible. And I started to look. Most part of people I have around me, they're like that, and I'm tired. I'm literally tired. So this year, I ended up isolating myself so much because I still can't get out of this environment. And even though They get me to the nerves. I love them. I like them. But I'm a bit tired. And I know that no matter what I do, they won't change because the change depends on them. So I started to isolate myself. I'm not in the mood to deal with that. And people are saying, "Oh, you're hey stranger, there's such a long time I saw you. You're so away of our lives." And I am. I literally am for my own will because I'm tired. I'm honestly tired of all those things. So even people from my family, I can engage in a conversation because I always end up feeling bad. Even my previous friendship, I one of the reasons was these reasons. She was always complaining about everything, and it's because the city sucks. It's because everything is bad. It's because of the mother. It's because of everything was a problem to her, and I ended up acting like that as well. Because if you are always um around people who are always complaining, who are always, like saying bad things, um, frustrated. You end up feeling like that as well. The time of my life where I was more ungrateful was a time where I was too close to this friendship because she was always complaining, and I started to complaining as well because I was listening that everything is bad, and I started to think that everything is bad as well. So when I say that the companies you have in your lives, they impact a lot. They impact a lot. That's what I'm saying. Because if you only walk with people who's complaining, who doesn't do anything to change their failure, you end up being acting like that because we have like that. Almost saying. And there's a quote, I already said that, but it's something like, you're the mean of the five people you have more contact you with. And I don't believe it 100%, but it quite makes sense in my mind. So if you live in an environment where everyone is acting like that, it's really hard for you to don't act like that as well. And if you wanted to get out of this environment, change your environment, it will be hard because you have to make a rupture in this relationship. So it's really hard. So you need to be surrounded by people who likes you, who care about you, who will help you when you need. This is the kind of people that you should have around you. If the people around you don't make an impression of you, there's no reason to them to be in your life. So choose your friendships and partnerships carefully. You don't settle for less for the fear of being alone. So learn to enjoy your own company. If you're going through a lonely phase, I already made a video about it. I'll add it as well. Uh, Learn to love it. Enjoy being with yourself. I made a whole video talking about it. And it's funny because I wrote this script many months ago, a lot of months ago, and I forgot about this part. And focus on your energy and on investing in yourself. So look who you have around you. And I know it's hard for you to cut ties, for you to distance yourself, for you to be alone, for you to be alone. It's hard. I had to admit it's hard. It's hard. But I guess in time you will learn to enjoy it. There's a girl that I follow on TikTok. I hope she also creates content to Instagram, but I never saw that. And she's from Canada. I will search for her nickname, and if I remember, I'll put here around here. But she's from Canada and she lives alone. She has no friends. She doesn't have a boyfriend, and honestly, I want to have her life. Her life is amazing. She lives alone. Her apartment is so cute. Uh, her flat in UK is so cute. It's exactly like a dream having my someday. And I see her life, and I see a girl who learned to enjoy this solitude, because sometimes you're not alone, you're only have a solitude moment. We have to have relationships, but if the relationships you have around you are not adding anything, it's better to be alone. And I think that in time, new people will get into your life. You know new people, you will start new relationships, and you see that day by day, step by step, your life will be a new life. You will be surrounded by new people who are people that you actually want in your life. I think that, especially for those who are entering adulthood, we kind of have a transition moment in your life because till our teenage, our environment were very influenced by our parents' environment. So you have your own environment, but you also have people from your parents' lives participating in your real life. And once you grow up, you see that sometimes these people they are not so good, and you have to make a transition of cutting these people and open new places for people who you actually want in your life. You know, and it may be your family as well. I think it doesn't happen in many countries, but it might really come for the whole family reunite and have this time together. But sometimes this time together is not so good, and a little by little you will learn how to open new places to people you actually want in your life. You know. And to end the video, I end up talking about talking so much about companies. I'll talk about faith. I already briefly talk about it here. It's not something that I usually talk about because I want I want to have a free space for everyone. If you have or not a relationship, I want you to feel comfortable watching my videos. I'll never, you know, impose any kind of faith on your life, but I think it's really important for you to have something to trust because in this life, there are moments that place nothing to us, and these are the moments that we have to count on faith. That's my point of view. You don't have to agree. If you don't want to watch this part, you can put, you can, you know, get out of the video. You're not forced to finish, but I want a little paragraph here, and I will read everything I wrote here. And finally, something I've been saying since the beginning of this channel, because since my first video I talk about it. A life without faith is empty. And I have to say that because I already lived a life without faith and it's actually empty. I'm not going to impose my faith on anyone, but it's not easy to live without something to believe in. I speak from my position of having been on both sides. Many people struggle because of this. They no longer have anything to believe in. No nurture a life of faith. Having something to believe in, connect with people who share your faith so that you can be each other's foundation. Because it's very difficult to live in this world. And if you're alone, it's even worse. Take a moment every day to connect with your faith. Consume content related to it, and make your day of rest a time to focus on it as well, as I said in the first paragraph. Take a little time of your free time to engage in your faith. And with that being said, I conclude my glow up plan. I hope that what I said here helps you in a way and brings you closer to your goal. So, see you next time. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember that my social media are on description so you can check on it if you feel so, and I really hope I try to post something every day there. And see you in the next video. next week. Okay, so bye.